New Lands, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 1, Chapter 6a, English Mechanic, Volume 56, page 184. That, upon April 25, 1892, Archdeacon reclimbed Mount Ararat. It was his hope that he should find something of archaeologic compensation for his clambering. He found Noah's Ark. About the same time, Dr. Holden, director of the Lick Observatory, was watching one of the polished and mysterious-looking instruments that, in the new iconology, have replaced the images of the saints. Dr. Holden was awaiting the appointed moment of the explosion of a large quantity of dynamite in San Francisco Bay. The moment came. The polished little saint revealed to the faithful scientist. He wrote an account of the record, and sent copies to the San Francisco newspapers. Then he learned the dynamite had not been fired off. He sent a second messenger after the first messenger, and, because messengers sometimes have velocities proportional to urgencies, the observatory escaped ridicule by a narrow margin. See the Observatory, Volume 20, page 467. This revelation came from Professor Colton, who, though probably faithful to all the saints, did not like Dr. Holden. The system that Archdeacon re-represented lost its power because its claims exceeded all conceivableness, and because, in other respects, of its inertness to the obvious. The system that Dr. Holden represented is not different. There is the same seeing of whatever may be desirable, and the same profound meditations upon the remote, with the same inattention to fairly acceptable starting points. The astronomers like to tell audiences of just what gases are burning in an unimaginably remote star, but have never reasonably made acceptable, for instance, that this Earth is round, to start with. Of course, I do not mean to say that this, or anything else, can be positively proved, but it is depressing to hear it said, so authoritatively, that the round shadow of this Earth upon the moon proves that the Earth is round, whereas records of angular shadows are common, and whereas, if this Earth were a cube, its straight sides would cast a rounded shadow upon the convex moon. That the first part of the receding vessel to disappear should be the lower part may be only such an illusion of perspective as that by which railroad tracks seem to dip toward each other in the distance. Meteors sometimes appear over one part of the horizon and then seem to curve down behind the opposite part of the horizon, whereas they describe no such curve, because to a string of observers each observer is at the center of the seeming curve.